Good morning. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the morning. My name is Babun Dash. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. IGP is a social and ISO certified international training institute. In 3 years, we already serve 3 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 250 plus profession and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professional IGP is a training faculty for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualification. The Institute of Global Professional is an education institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, and internationally to student job seeker, job holder, and also for learner to respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminar courses, our quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to serve more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and wall knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game, website free course, convert sites, and many, many more. We help to empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renewed professionals to develop all kind of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. To develop all kind of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. To ensure excellent and instruction, we arrange with qualified trainer, speaker, and coaches. We extended free services to more than 3 million loan seekers in last year. We have affiliation with many colleges. and organizations and to different countries. Virtual mode signing with many colleges and organizations have been accomplished. We are working to create a legendary generation of future scholars who will be accountable. We are constantly prepared to assist all knowledge seekers with valuable service. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and we serve them with good research and practice methods. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. Diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1401 webinars successfully. Wow. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1401 webinars successfully. Wow. At present, we are going to start our 1402 webinar, which name is Goodbye Cash, Goodbye Privacy. And today our speaker's name is Sandesh AM. He is from India. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, sir, wants to share a very little bit about him. Management consultant, KPMG Global Service Private Limited. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Sir,
So
can
can
you
I
see
go
the
to?
screen?
Yes, I can see. Yep.
Okay, sir, the stage is yours. You can start your presentation now.
Yeah. Thank you. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the global audience who have registered for this webinar. My name is Sandesh. I'm a management consultant working with the KPMG Global Services Private Limited in India. Uh, it's although a webinar, I would like to be keep it as much interactive as much as possible. So quickly, if you can take a minute to just let me know in the chat or comment section from where which location in the globe you are right now associated or currently situated, so that it will be a interactive session, so I can keep that in mind as well. So if you can just quickly share from where are you located, you have joined this webinar right now, which location. Hope I'm audible. Yeah. Can you just quickly take a minute to let me know from which location you have joined this webinar, please? Thanks, Nishant.
Hello, sir. Is there any issue?
No, I just wanted to check with the audience. So I'm just
Yes, sir.
starting.
Everything is perfect and fine. You can continue now.
Yeah, sure. So today's topic I'll be presenting is goodbye cash and goodbye privacy. So before we start with the, let me start with the presentation. So I have divided the contents into four parts. That is, first we'll go with the introduction. So we will try to understand what is it, then what are the potential risks. Then the next part would be misuse of the personal data, some of the concerns what we have, and what are the precautions which we can take. So which will be helpful in the normal day-to-day course. So as you know, right with the pandemic, the use of cash is going on decline. So throughout globally. So this is both a positive and a negative trend. Positive in the terms of the use, the convenience what it gives, but the negative thing is associated with the privacy concerns. So let's see what are these. So we'll start with the introduction. So cashless payment systems, what are these? So these allow individuals and businesses to make transactions without using the physical cash. So basically you use digital or electronic methods to process the payments. So if you were to just see a general overview how these cashless payment systems work, so basically it starts with having an account. So you have to set up an account or wallet, and so with a bank or a digital wallet provider or a payment service. So that will be the step one, and then you have to securely link that bank account or credit or debit card to the service, the service provider. So that makes the initial account setup. So then the second step is funds transfer. So once account is set up, a user can initiate a transaction where the cashless payment system facilitates the transfer of funds from the payer's account to payee's account. So that's the funds transfer stage. Now, once you initiate the transaction, what happens is in the background there is authentication and authorization is being carried out. How this is Why this is done is because the identity has to be verified that the correct person is doing the transaction, and because this does not involve any manual or any physical people checking in, like unlike when we write a check or present cash. So this has to be verified. So how do we verify this? We use different methods, like you have passwords, you have biometrics, you have OTPs, that is called one time passwords. So passwords are something like you have your alphanumeric which you have set up, or biometrics is something like you have with the advent of technology, you use your thumb impression or your facial recognition or retina scan. So these are some of the examples for biometrics. And then one-time passwords are like specifically generated for that transaction. It's a unique number and which will have a time bound. So within the whatever the time sensitivity is set up by the payment or the bank, it is like 1 minute or 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So that gets expired. So these mechanisms, what happens is being used to first authenticate whether it's a genuine person or the correct person who is the account holder has initiated this, and then authorization. So then it is authorized. So now, when we move to the transaction processing, how that processing happens. So usually this involves communication between payers and payees. So there are two uh, parties involved. One is the payer who initiates it, and one is the payee who is receiving it. So both are having their own accounts and which is linked to their subsequent financial institutions or banks. So the transaction processing is basically communication between these two intermediaries, what we call. So one more layer what we have in between this is called the payment gateways and clearing houses. So what is a payment gateway? Basically, a payment gateway is an electronic or other electronic system which captures, processes, and communicates between the banks, between the payee and the payers. And clearing house is set up as a ecosystem where all these banks usually have the accounts, and they transact in between them so that the money is moved from one bank to the second bank or vice versa. So the last thing in this whole system, how it works is the confirmation. So once the transaction has been successfully processed, you will get the both the payer and the payee both get the confirmation messages, which is in the form of like SMS, email, or in-app notifications. What are which gives the details of the transactions specifically. So what I mean by in-app notifications, so some of the some of the apps, they have the built-in feature where it shows you that the transaction details, processing, how much time it took, whether it has reached, and if what is the unique transaction number, UTRN, which you can quote in case of any uh, issues. like when you're using this, if it is not yet generated or something like that, if the other person hasn't received it. So this is basically how the overview. Now, if we move further, I listed some of the examples of cashless payment systems right now. So to start with the basic, we have credit or debit cards. So we all know credit and debit cards are issued by the particular banks or financial institutions right across the globe. And it has usually we have two main players, Mastercard and Visa. Other than that, we have uh, other issuers as well, like American Express and other regional smaller players. So that is the first one, which is very familiar. Then if we move, so that second thing which is very common is mobile wallets. Now, uh, like Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay. So all these are like mechanisms where you can store money and you can pay for your usual transactions, be it like your uh, sending money to your loved ones, or buying it for instead of using it for instead of cash. You can buy it at anywhere where the merchants are accepting these types of wallets. And it is the one of the main thing is it's convenient, but it is also more secure. So uh, these are mobile wallets. Now coming into online payment services. Now, the what is the distinction between these things? Like if we see why we need so many cashless payment systems, because credit and debit cards are very physical. You need to be you can use them when you are holding them, and when you are right at the shop or a establishment or a merchant place. So you can use that physically. Now coming to mobile wallets gives you much more convenience, wherein you can do the transactions beyond the physical thing. Like anybody who is connected to you, like you have their details. If you want to send it cross border, if you want to send it next to your state, within the country, within the next country as well. So wherever these platforms are accepted, you can use them. Now, coming to the online payment services. Now, what are these? These are something like PayPal or Stripe, the common examples which we see in the general day to day. So these again comes into cashless payment systems. So again, these are very well right now with the e-commerce being like with the pandemic thing, the e-commerce has boomed. So right now you can sit at home and order anything from your Amazon or Flipkart or any of these big stores, and you can conveniently pay them through PayPal or Stripe. So what does this convenience gives? It is multifold. One, for the payment, for the payer, like the general person like me, it gives me convenience that I can pay it securely. So there is security involved. There is lot of mechanisms which go beyond the this one, beyond the scene, which have additional layers of security so that money is not lost. And second thing, for the merchant, what happens is, since these are like have these people are in different geographies or situated in different what you can call a distance, they are situated at a long distance to each other, they can't see them each other. So this adds to the or the trust factor. So the PayPal, Stripe, these companies come in as between an intermediary and play it as a guarantee person in between, who guarantees the uh, payment to the merchant and the the security of the transaction to the payer. Now, one more, if we move to the next thing, which is much more relevant nowadays, is P2P payment apps, which is called peer-to-peer payment apps. So right now, I have my friend who needs some cash or who is short of some cash. So I can I have his mobile number or I have his IDs. Usually they work with different types. Either you can pay them through the mobile numbers, or their if you have the generic unique IDs which have been set up, you can do that. These are popularly the globally, which is very much used, are Venmo, Zilite, and in India we have UPI. So what these things help us is, when you know the person, and you don't need to like in the online payment services or in the credit and debit cards, you need to have so many layers of it. Like you need to update the card details, you need to have the bank number, you need to know the IFSC code, bank bank short code, all these things. But in peer-to-peer payment apps or P2P apps, what happens is, you know the person and you have the mobile number or the ID, unique ID, which is being generated. So through that, you can easily send the money and receive the money as well. So this adds much more convenience than compared to all the previous payment methods. Now, further, we have contactless payment or RFID. Now, what is near field communication? So you have the Apple Watch, you have the other credit cards are now come up with NFC enabled. Then you have the Apple mobile, the Apple Wallet itself is having NFC. So what does this technology means is near field communication. So you can use you don't need to be like swiping or giving them. You don't need to involve like when you use the credit or debit cards, you need to hand over to the person and they need to swipe it, you need to input the pin and all these things. So the contactless payment, as we evolve in the technology, it eliminates all these steps. So what you do is you just directly just wave it or tap it into the POS, or what we call the point of sale system, which the merchant has. So which easily does all the authentication, the processing, the initiation, and it directly makes the payment within fraction of seconds. So this is the level of convenience what we are talking about cashless payment systems. Now RFID is radio frequency identification. So this is the NFC and RFID. The main difference what we have is the range, the technology limitation what we have. But most both of them are very frequently used. So these are the different cashless payment systems what are in right now in use. If we move further now, so yeah, this is very convenient. Today I don't need to even if I need to send money, I don't need to move across to the bank, write a check, wait for the to get it transferred, and then call up the person, check whether they have received. The other person needs to go to his bank, just collect them for collecting the money. All those process is gone. Now it's very instantaneous. Like just in the snap of a finger, you just send the money, you receive the money. It has become that much uh, convenient. Now, does this convenience really mean, is it such a secure, or there are no concerns like in terms of privacy or in terms of data? Let's see potential risks with this kind of payment, the cashless payment systems what we have. So I've tried to list down some of them, major ones. First thing would be the unauthorized transactions. Now, the cyber criminals who are like a bit advanced, who know the mechanisms, how the security and apparatus works, how the computer works, how the internet works, are always on the lookout for the gullible people who are innocent, who are using it for the first time, the technology, and they try to obtain this personal and financial data from these people through various modus operandis. The way they do that, we know, like something called phishing attacks, then we have data breaches, you have malware. So they use all these types of information or practices to carry out transactions without the knowing of the account owner. So the account owner doesn't know itself that the transaction has happened. So only when he gets the notification from his or her bank, if he has enabled, he will get to know, okay, this is the amount which has been deducted from your account. So the second type is like the identity theft. So this is the second common most type what we see as a potential risk. These fraudsters use the personal data. So in right now today's world, you might have heard the digital footprint. So whenever we use any online application, online system, online grocery vending app or payment system app. What we are doing is we are leaving the digital footprints. So that may be my name, my address, my social security number, my other important numbers. So these are all there waiting. If they are not been secured correctly, these are like potential uh, gold mines for the fraudsters. So they collect all these things and they create a what you call a digital person of you to use your identity, because you have left all these things in an unsecured place. They will use that to create as a yourself when you're authorizing or when you're doing as a transaction. So the next thing is the financial fraud. Financial fraud is like from the identity theft, whatever these like already they have built the persona. Now, who is Sandesh? What is his date of birth? Where does he stay? What is his usual transactions? Who does he talks with? Where does he buy? What does he buy? How regularly does he go to? Does he use Walmart? Does he use uh, other stores? How is it? So they collect all these details to create a virtual Sandesh, so that these can be used, because the banks or the financial institutions, they have certain layers of securities. Now, as we already saw, you need to give them the whenever you are trying to authenticate, like as you if you do it, if you remember the transactions, if you used to do it over the call or in person, they need to see your identity. They buy an identity card, photo identity card or something like that, which is valid government proof. Then you need to provide them the address proof. They need you to sign the check in front of them. So all these steps were involved, so that the financial uh, amount or finance or your money was safe, secure. Now, with everything going online, so these checks have been eliminated. But that's that has become a loophole for these fraudsters. And once all they've collected all these details, they create these financial frauds, like they will manipulate your account balances, or they will redirect my payments. Like if I'm paying my bank or my son who is studying in a different location, if I'm sending him a tuition fee, what they will do is they will just remove the beneficiary name, and they will input their own account, so that this details, this money gets routed to their accounts. So these are kind of the financial frauds. So one disclaimer here is, any bank employees, or any, for that matter, any financial institution employees, will never ask you for your passwords, PIN, personal identification number, OTP, one-time transaction passwords, CVV, customer identification value, or the card numbers. Nobody asks it. So if that's the first red flag, we should be able to uh, identify whenever somebody, if you get a call stating that I am from XY, like as I said already, in the identity theft, they have already collected some of the pieces of information, that which bank you hold account with, which is the normal account, which is your salary account, where do you usually conduct transactions with. So they may try to uh, impose as a fraud. They will try to come up as a bank employee. They may call you up and they will ask you to reveal all these numbers. So b that's the first red flag. And be assured, under no circumstances no bank employee will ask you to do this. All they may ask you is to reach to whenever there is such thing, you need to go to the visit to the bank branches. So never do it anything online when somebody prompts you. So that should be a first flag, red flag. Now, if you are moving to next set of potential risks, what are these? So unauthorized data sharing. So what happens is, as I earlier took you through the general way how the cashless payment transactions systems work. So the transaction data is being stored. Now, also in the name of convenience, what we have been doing is we have been storing the card data ourselves for the sake of convenience. Just that one click payment. I don't need to input my credit card number. I don't need to input my CVV. So to eliminate all this in the name of convenience, what we are doing is, wherever I'm using it for the normal day-to-day activities, like my Walmart account where I buy groceries daily online, what I do is, instead of every time I input these things, I'm storing that. So these data likewise is stored in with the third party service, the service providers basically. And these third party may use this for advertising, analytics, or other purpose also, without the explicit consent or your approval to use that, which gives the potential violation of your privacy. Now, if you see a small example, let's say we are all using Facebook, right? So we see so many Facebook ads. So whenever you show some interest or when you click one of those things, in a 1 hour or 2 hour or in a subsequent days, whenever you log in, you see such kind of similar ads coming into your uh, feed, into your Facebook feed. Why does this happen? Because they already have those data, the marketers, the marketing or the advertising people, they know the data that okay, so let's say I want to buy iPhone 14. So in the Facebook ad I saw somebody like advertising the retail outlet advertising that I have a offer for iPhone 14. So the moment I checked what is the ad, I just clicked on it and I just wanted to see what is the offer. So he's giving 10% discount or he's giving me some additional equipment with that, accessories or something like that. But then I made a decision that I'll not buy that from there. I'll go to the physical shop. But I closed it. But what has happened is this has already left a digital footprint. Since I've already logged into the Facebook with my account, and they have so many data already, so this creates a profile already for the um, the advertisers and the marketers. So they know that you are looking to buy iPhone 14. So then they will try to bombard you with the similar advertisements. So this is unauthorized data sharing. Then next type of thing is blackmail and extortion. So this is a bit more serious in nature. Now what happens is these are cyber criminals who are hell bent to harm you, harm anybody, any of us, using the sensitive personal and financial data. They can do this, like they can misuse in any way with the data, whatever we have. They can probably block the access to your computer, that you can't use your own computer. You cannot, it just goes waste for you, that whatever data is there, you cannot access it. If you go one step forward, if you're not meeting their demands, what they may do is also they may erase it or they may sell the data in outside. So they, it may include your sensitive details, like my photos with my loved ones, or my transaction details, or my passwords, anything like that. So that can happen. So also the blackmail and extortion. And the last type of this thing, which is much more gaining very popular nowadays, is manipulation of personal data. So what they do is they tamper your data and make you, cause you reputational harm. So some of these things is like defacing your Facebook account, or uh, giving illegal things, comments, commenting to your friends, inappropriate comments, uh, age inappropriate comments, sexual in comments, racial comments, abuses. So they use your personal accounts to do all these things once they have the data access to all these points. Okay. Now let's see some of the concerns in detail, like where the misuse of personal data has happened and how is it happened. So if we broadly see data breaches, cyber criminals exploit these small loopholes in the banks or payment service providers or digital wallet platforms, so that they get access to your personal and financial data. So the details, whatever you have in the bank, like what is the amount of salary you get, when you get that, what date, what are the standing instructions you're given, what do you do, all these are private sensitive data which they can use it, which they can access it by the loopholes of software breaches, like in the operating system, or in the not, if you're not using the secure connections, or you're using these things. So that constitutes the primary concern. One of the biggest concern is data breaches. Now, second thing is third-party data sharing. So as I already said, these digital platforms or mobile apps or these people, they may share your data either for marketing or for analytics, So what happens is, the positive, rather than the positive thing, the negative thing of analytics, for such data analytics, is that now, let's say, let me take an example. I prefer using brand A rather than brand B, which are competitors in the similar market. Now, since my preference is brand A, what does this analytics, how it is used is misused is, they may see that in a particular demography or in a particular geography, like in my city, there are a number of users who are using brand A. So what they will do is they will try to provide more um favorable, or try to cover up the uh, present brand A in a more favorable light, so that since we already have an inclination towards brand A, we already trusting the brand A, I will feel more good, and I'll keep buying brand A, so that the brand A can diversify into other things as well. Like, it can come up with the other things with the brand A similarity. That's one of the analytical things which is misused. Then malware and spywares. So malware and spyware are nothing but, these are some specific programs which is being uh, injected or infected to your computers, so that they automatically act upon even in your absence. So once your system or a laptop or a desktop or a phone is infected with these kind of malware or spywares, they they can access all your data, whatever you are stored in your physical things as well, like your gallery. They can access to your contacts, so they can uh, pull out all this data and keep feeding it to the cyber criminals. Now, next concern is public Wi-Fi's. So public Wi-Fi network. So right now we know, gone are the days when we used to use the LAN network and we used to sit in a place and use internet. Right now we are on the move. We on the go. We need access to data. We need to check. So the Wi-Fi is the thing. Now what happens is there are public Wi-Fi set up, but not all of them are secured. So there are unsecured public Wi-Fi's, or not up to the level of security which should be there. So they are just kept a random password, or the password hasn't been changed for long, or it's a very common password which can be guessed by any hacker. So what makes these things are all is, like, once the cyber criminal has access to this Wi-Fi network itself, he can just possibly check all the data which is passing through the network, be it financial, be it personal, whatever data which is passing through these network, he has access, unlimited, uninterrupted access to that. So again, that's a very big concern. Then you have phishing attacks. Now, what do I mean particularly by phishing attacks? Phishing attacks is something where a cyber criminal with previously accessed data of yours try to impersonate. So let's say I'm supposed to make a payment for my supplier. So it is due in, let's say, 10 days. But the cyber criminals get to know that, okay, I need to make some $100,000 as a payment to my supplier. What he does is he makes an uh, phishing attack, in the sense of sending using an email which very very closely resembles to my supplier, but it is sent by the cyber criminal and has the details of his own accounts. So when I just look it for a glance, I know that, okay, yeah, I need to pay the supplier in 10 days, but maybe due to some urgency he has sent it 2 days or 3 days in advance. So what I do is I just go and click the link and make the payment. So these kind of attacks, because this looks very similar, the website, the logo, or the email, the uh, all these things are very well impersonated, or very well they have done this to look very similar to the original one. So using these fake things, I have done the transaction. So the amount has gone to the cyber criminal. Now, if you see in the next things, these are bit next higher level concerns. When we see weak privacy policies, now the the privacy policy has to be set up whenever a institution or a public Wi-Fi network, or whenever we are doing this. But The personal information or these things, these details have not been uh, robust. Like that means they are not privacy policies are not being updated. So that leaves a vulnerability to the cyber criminals. Then we have the state surveillance and tracking by authorities. Now, what happens is since these kind of what you call live tracking and all these things are now possible, like if I go on Facebook live, people can know where I was. The geotagging is there, where whenever I click a picture through my mobile, it gives out the data, the longitude, latitude and longitude details. It can give the the coordinates. It has the some places you have the 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 watermark which gives the exact location where it was taken at what time and all those things. So all these kind of details can be used, data can be used to track you down to as accurately as 100 or around 150 meters, they say. So just near to 150 meters to you, you can be tracked in terms of your mobile data location, tower location, then the other types of transactions what you have done through the internet. So one more thing, concern of grave concern is the unintentional data leaks. Now this is a bit very tricky, because what happens is even the financial institutions or the banks or the intermediaries, nobody wants to get the data in the public domain, right? These are personal data, identifiable data, and uh, they try to safeguard it at as much as possible. But what happens is some of the programming errors or some misconfigurations, or when you're making the data, you're giving the access to the right level of people, you just overlooked it. So these things expose your data to the vulnerable, cyber criminals who are looking out for these things. So these are the concerns which we should be very like aware of, or which should be like vigilant when we are using the payment methods, and we should be taking like proactive measures which to safeguard the financial data. Now let's see what some live examples which has happened, recent incidents that have raised this data breaches. Like as we spoke about the data stolen in these kind of cyber attacks can be sold to fraudulent activities. Now in 2013, the retail giant Target, this had a significant data breach where the payment details of around 40 million customers was stolen. So again, I have given the source. You can just go read on it. That's internet. It's there on the public domain. What were the causes and why did it happen? But there was a data breach. Now surveillance and tracking, how you are being tracked and all these privacy issues. So your spending habits, your locations, your all these things are being used for targeted advertising or profiling. Now, in 2020, the US Secret Service brought location data from a popular weather and flagship app. So, what does this mean? So, these types of data which we are storing or we are leaving the digital footprint unknowingly or knowingly is being used to track against us for either for good or for bad, but without our consent. So, without a consent, it makes equally bad, even if it's done from the a government or any other authority. Why I say this is because a lot of uh, established laws and regulations hold the authorities liable, because you cannot just have access to any data unless you are required to track that. You need to approach a court or a jurisdiction or the legal system and get an approval from them, and that has to be time bound and it has to be specific. You cannot just a blanket approval to mass surveillance every people or mass censor people, like how it is being done in certain geographies. Like you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to speak against that, you're not you don't have voice to speak against that, all these things. So censor is a concern. Now very interestingly, one of the recent incident is exclusion of underprivileged populations. Now when you're going cashless, we need to understand that not everybody is well versed with the technology and the associated perils with it. Now, why I say this is because we have in our society we have uh, people, those who are not very tech savvy, like not very conversant with using the technology. So for those people, when we are making it entirely cashless, that causes a serious concern where they are excluded, where they have been kept away from the uh, some of the uh, conveniences or the daily activities. Now, a recent example is in Sweden, which went into which is famous for being a highly cashless society. There are elderly people and some of the peoples, those who are situated in rural citizens, like they struggle with the new digital payment systems, because what happens is the since we are going digital, we are having less and less bank branches, and many businesses they don't want to accept cash, or they are being prohibited by law to not to accept cash. So these kind of populations are facing significant challenges when they want to uh, participate in the economy, like want to buy their normal daily stuff. So they are like, it is leading to somewhat like a social inequality, right? And then one more interesting topic is dependency on third party service providers. Now, cashless transactions, as we said, it involves different players. So there are banks and financial institutions which are regulated and governed and monitored by the authorities. But there are other third party providers, service providers, like who process your data, who uh, provide other services. They may be exposed to security risks and privacy breaches. Okay. Now, if we see a recent example in 2029, in 2019, the first data, who is a the payment processor, had got issues in the system in terms of system outage, which led to a disruption of payments, and also inconveniences for the people where they couldn't use those services. Like, imagine I've got into an online or like a store. I've gone in for buying groceries, and I see that my payment is not working. Why? I have the cash in the account. My bank has confirmed that. I call up the bank. My bank has confirmed, but due to the problem with the payment processor, my payment is not getting completed. So this is kind of dependency what we are seeing. If we move further, the loss of control over personal data. So this is bit more technical, advanced. Why I say this is we are being very like it's Facebook has become like a part of life now. Similarly, other social media apps. Now, what happens is lot of times the personal information, whatever we are stored and shared there, they have those privacy policies being updated, but they are very lengthy, very cumbersome, and very technical for a layman to understand. So what we do is we just go ahead and click OK or authorize, because unless we authorize it or OK it, we can't use the services. So we give them the OK authorization, but we don't read what are the final terms and conditions there. So the final fonts which leads all these details. Now, an interesting case or an example for this is in 2018, Cambridge Analytica, which is a political consulting firm. They had improperly accessed personal data of millions of Facebook users just to shape or try to influence the decision making of the people. Now, what happens is, as a common man, if I am seeing uh, day-to-day bombardment of advertisements against my popular belief, I may think that, oh, maybe that's true, because a lot of people are, or a lot of similar comments are coming in. So maybe true. This may be true, or this may be a. So these kind of propaganda are being peddled and advanced using these kind of uh, privacy concerns, basically. So in spite of all these privacy concerns, cashless transactions are becoming much and more prevalent in the society. So it is for very crucial for governments, financial institutions, and technology providers to address these issues by providing robust security measures and also privacy policies that will protect both the personal and financial data. Now, let's see what are the precautions as a person I can do, not involving the other players. So, firstly, I have to use strong and unique passwords. Now, this everyone keeps telling unique, strong password. What is a unique, strong password? Not like a very easy to guess. So, it is ABCD123, or just the numbers, or my name, my son's name, my family name, or something like this, which are very easily to use. So, and it is only words. Now, what happens is if you go, whenever you add multiple characters like numbers, use the capitals and the small letters, then you use the special characters, it and the digital digits. It makes the password much more harder to guess for the criminal, cyber criminal, to hack it. So that's the reason you shouldn't use the personal information as your password, and this password needs to be regularly changed, like once in 30 days at the max. So what this mean is like, by the time they collect your one piece and they gather other things, you would have changed the password. So that makes again the chain obsolete for them. They have to do the rethink. Now, second thing is I can enable multi-factor authentication. Now, what does this multi-factor authentication mean? These multi-factor authentications are provided by secure institutions like your antivirus companies, or like Microsoft or Google. Now, what they do is they, in between your password and your access, they provide an additional layer. Now, in this additional layer, what happens is once you're trying to access your own account or detail, create a transaction, you click in your password, it goes to the multi-factor authentication layer. Now here, the MFA would, the app or the say this one would send you an OTP, one time transaction password, to your mobile or your email. And when you input that, so that additional layer of authentication is there, that okay, it's you who is doing the transaction and not somebody else, or somebody has not hacked into your the system. Then what we need to do is monitor accounts regularly, be it my bank account, be it my digital wallets, or be it my transaction history. You need to monitor them regularly. That means you need to keep checking them on a regular basis, like once in a month or once in a 15 days. What does this help you with is that if there are any suspicious activities as such, like if there is any breaches which has happened, you will be able to highlight them and help the enforcement with the further activities for these, in curbing them, or in helping you back getting back your money. Now, keeping the software updated. Now, this is very basic, like be it your operating systems, be it your apps, whatever updates, your security software, your antivirus, your malwares. So all these things has to be updated with the latest security patches. Now, why do we do this is because whenever there's vulnerability being identified, or whenever cyber security researchers who see that there is a particular loophole in the system, that is that can be used by the criminals, or that can be taken advantage of, they will come up with the antidote for that, or a solution for that. Now, if I'm not updating my software regularly, those patches will not be those security updates will not be applied to my software, and those vulnerabilities can be exploited to to gain unauthorized access. Now, the next thing is, whenever we are using Wi-Fi connections, make sure that the connection is secure. Now, how do I do that? The public Wi-Fi's will have a password. Now, we are not very sure with when it is being changed, or is it a sufficiently strong password. So the best way what we can do while using Wi-Fi connections, we can't just eliminate it. I accept, because I too, whenever I'm traveling outside, or whenever I'm in the person out of my house, I need to use public Wi-Fi. But what I can do is I can use a VPN, or a virtual private network service. Now, what is this VPN? It's a secure network which will only give access to your pre-approved and other devices, only access to the internet. And it the data whichever you're sending, it makes sure it is encrypted. What do you mean by encrypted? It is, even if the cyber security or the cyber criminal has access to the network, he will not be able to read your data. The data is not very simple, so it is encrypted, in the sense it is not readable. So the decryption, when you send the data, it is encrypted in your device, and when the data reaches the destination, it is decrypted. So that means again the data is made readable format. So this is a very good thing to use as a security concern, as a precautions. Now we have to be very very cautious with the unintended or unexpected emails or messages, be it text messages, be it WhatsApp messages, be it Facebook, be it any messages from any social media. Unless you don't, you were not expecting it, be rest assured that it's a red flag. If you are expecting something, you will you will be knowing that it is coming from a genuine resource, and you have to make sure that this is like, um, whatever the data or whatever the ask is, whatever the details of that email and message is coming from an authenticated source, firstly. And secondly, never ever, as I previously told you, none of the banks or anybody asks you your personal details, like your passwords, your OTPs, or your and the usernames, these things. So if somebody is trying to pressurize you, saying that your account is getting blocked, you are not updated your KYC, you are not updated your ABC, and they are trying to pressurize you, within 1 hour your account will be blocked, or you will be paying fines, and this, be rest assured, these are all red flags. Never ever click on the links they have been provided to you, or uh, like, even if it looks however genuine, please don't click on the links, because a bank will, or a authorized or a genuine transaction will never ask you to click on a link. They will ask you to directly type their password, type their address, and get into the secured website, which is starts with HTTPS, S for secured. So HTTPS with these things. So that should be a thing. And lastly, please try to limit the sharing of personal information. So as much as possible, let's not give to the first place, let's not plant the give the data itself in the security, in the social media. Be it like, okay, I this is my birthday today, I took yeah, I mean, like, it's good to celebrate and do this, but very responsibly. Please don't give out the addresses, the like, let's say if I'm celebrating my son, who's his first day to the school, don't mention the school day, don't mention the school address. So these are kind of unknowingly what we do, which becomes the uh, clickbait, or becomes the easy access for the low hanging fruits, or the fruits for these cybersecurity criminals. So never ever give any sensitive data, like your phone numbers, the social security numbers, any other identifiers, all these things, on the social media, any of these, not none of them. So the last thing is, whenever you're using the third party apps or service providers, make sure they are very well known, or they have been regulated. Like, if you're using any app from the app store, you can be rest assured that Apple uh, makes it a priority to check the antecedents of those. They have done the verification of that, and it is secure. So in terms, they don't have any malicious content in them, or they are not tracking your data, or they are not stealing your data, basically. So all these researches are being done. So try to use as much as the authentic sources, be it your Google Play Store, or the Apple Play Store, or the authorized Play Stores, and don't use from the untrusted sources, or from the internet sources. Somebody gives you an app, somebody tells you that it is easy or free. Please don't use them, because they may steal your data. And also, try using privacy tools. Now privacy tools are, there come a number of them, like You can have privacy browsers where your track cookies are not being tracked, you're not being stored, your data is not being stored. Then you can add ad blockers as your uh, in the into your browser, then which blocks the unwanted ads. Then you can use VPNs, virtual private networks, which I said. Then so that all this makes your online activity and also the personal information very safe from exploitation of and tracking, potential trackings. So with using certain of these precautions, I'm pretty sure that we can reduce the risk to very bare minimum of the privacy breaches and also misuse of the personal data when we are using cashless payment methods. So with this, I conclude my presentation, and I'm open to any questions and answers if you have any. I hope I was clear and made sense to the audience here. And if you have any queries or any clarifications you need from the data which are presented, you can feel free to uh, ask here or ping it on the comments. Uh, Badan, I'm I'm done with the presentation.
Thank you so much, sir, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, dear sir, for your presentation. Now, sir, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable sir, please stay with us. After a short video, we will be back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. participants, dear IGP knowledge seeker. Sir, our first question is from Nishant Arora. Which are major branch one should be careful about?
Okay, yeah, that's a very valid question. Thanks, Nishant, for asking. So, the data breaches which we should be very careful is about the which involves personal sensitive information, like where my the any data which is within the social my which can build my personal profile, so which can be used to impersonate me. So those are kind of data breaches which should be very careful about, and we should be very careful while we are sharing this over the internet. So unless it is absolutely required, we should try to be as much as anonymous possible, so that this data is not tracked to me or associated with me. Hope that answers.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Sir, there is no more questions from our participants. So once thank you so much, dear sir, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add
Uh,
some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable sir, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, sir. Take care.
yeah, it's my pleasure, and thanks for being a wonderful audience. I look forward to being interacting again here. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Honorable sir, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can, sir.
Sure. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. IGP Knowledge Seeker is time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. IGP Knowledge Seeker is time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Today, some technical problem, we cannot provide our certificate code. We provide our certificate code in a short time. Thank you. Today, some technical problem, we cannot provide our certificate code. We provide our certificate code in a short time. Thank you. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Go to www.slido.com and find today's quiz or scan this QR code for direct joining. Quiz code is Global IGP. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is Global IGP. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is Global IGP. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is Global IGP. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is Global IGP. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is Global IGP. With 13 people, we are going to start our quiz session right now. Our first question is classify cash. Option 1 asset, option 2 liability. শুধু কুইজগুলো আপনি 26 সাথে 26 সাথে আজকে মনে করতে আপনাদের এখান থেকে দেখা যাচ্ছে শুধু কুইজ হলে তো আপনি এস্টিমেটের গান পাচ্ছেন Uh, Option 1 is the right answer, and 100% people are right here in the leaderboard. Ephraim is holding the first position. Our second question is you can pay dash cash or dash credit card if you want. Option 1 in oblique on. Option 2 in oblique buy. Option 2 is the right answer, and 71% people are right here in the leaderboard. Ephraim is holding the first position. Our third question is she never pays up dash cash. Option 1 in. Option 2 on. Option 1 is the right answer. 92% people are right here in the leaderboard. Abraham is holding the first position. Our fourth question is if cash flows are $11,000 and cash outflow are $5,000, calculate the net cash flow. Option 1 11,000, option 2 6,000. Option 2 is the right answer, and 93% people are right here in the leaderboard. Ephraim is holding the first position. Our fifth question is what business model has a cash cow? Option 1 produce life cycle. Option 2 Boston matrix. Option 2 is the right answer. 43% people are right here in the leaderboard. Farm and is holding the first position. Our sixth question is the main cash crop in the agriculture south was option 1 hemp, option 2 cotton. Option 2 is the right answer, and 50% people are right here in the leaderboard. Rosalinda is holding the first position. Our seventh question is what is cash in bank? Option 1 asset, option 2 owner's equity. Option 1 is the right answer, and 100% people are right here in the leaderboard. Cine Mercia is holding the first position. Our eighth question is running a cash register. Option 1 soft skill, option 2 hard skill. Option 2 is the right answer, and 21% people are right here in the leaderboard. Ephraim is holding the first position. Our last and second last question of the morning session is net cash flow equal to receipts minus payments. Option 2 receipts plus payment. Option 1 is the right answer, and 93% people are right here in the leaderboard. Ephraim is holding the first position. Our last and final question of the morning session is identify the meaning of this Idiom cash cow. Option 1, a cow made of cash. Option 2, a way to make easy money. Option 2 is the right answer, and 100% people are right here. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner, top 10. Congratulations again. Slider will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that, we will issue our online certificate on our official Facebook page and group in Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner, top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that, we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group in Institute of Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner, top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that, we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group in Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner, top 10. Congratulations again. Slider will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that, we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group in Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill, numerous of learning cost life levels to teaching us. We have Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the add live button once again, thank you so much for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.